You also know, Grounded, you are currently in the lair of the necromancer. This is not the place to be lighting a Bunsen burner. He's staring straight at you.
I wave at him.
He doesn't respond.
I slowly move into the doorway. And how high is the ceiling in the room?
This one's actually quite a bit higher than the other rooms. This one is about 20 feet up. So a lot of the other rooms, well, the one you've just come from is 20 feet as well. This one's another 20 feet, but it has these drops halfway down. These sort of troughs that the undead are in for another 10 feet. From where you are, it's 20 feet above you, because you're sort of up on a platform at the beginning.
Okay. I climb up the wall and hang on the roof. And does he keep staring at me?
He's staring at the door.
Okay, so along the roof I move a bit closer.
Okay, so you move across. So what you can see now as you're getting closer, you're essentially walking on the ceiling, of course, over this long platform that's about 15 feet wide, and it's about 100 feet long, and around it is these two troughs which are about 30 feet deep, 10 feet further down, and 30 feet wide in the opposite direction, and that's where all these altars are on which the undead are sort of lying in, and there's sewage all along the ground underneath them. Sewer water is dropping down in these sort of waterfalls, falling down onto there, running to the other side of the room where they disappear into some pipes. On the platform that you're walking sort of over while you're on the ceiling, you can see that there's these two arcane sigils, and they're about 50 feet apart on the platform. And they're inscribed in chalk and in ash and in what looks like maybe salt, maybe sulfur, something like that. It's a little hard to tell because it's sort of all mixed together. And they are in various arcane symbols and two big circles. You're not sure what happens if anyone were to touch those, but they are certainly magical in purpose. Like, no one draws symbols like that for any other reason.
I mean, it may just be a hobby.
It might be. It might be.
They don't look familiar at all, or?
Roll me an Arcana check if you'd like.
21 again.
21. Okay, so you do recognize some of these symbols, and presumably this is from your ghost training, sort of teaching you various random things while you sleep. It's kind of like, when people put on audiobooks while they sleep in the hopes that they'll wake up more intelligent. It's like that, except it's ghosts. And occasionally one is just floating in telling you, apparently, about teleport circles.
That'll explain how he disappeared the last time.
Yeah, he's not stood in either of those two circles. He's on a large sort of circular raised platform at the far end of the room, which also has sigils on it. It could be that he's created even more of these, or it could be that that's doing something else.
Now that I'm a bit closer, do I have any better idea of what he's doing?
Staring straight at the door at the moment. Just staring. Not moving at all. He is giving off a smell, though, and that smell is sort of faintly of cinnamon.
So not necessarily an illusion.
I move a bit closer. He's just sort of staying completely still?
Completely still, yeah.
Right. Does using a cantrip end invisibility?
Yes. Not for greater invisibility, but for normal invisibility, yes.
I walk to the very end of the room, climb down the wall, and sort of slowly approach just to look at what he's got on his workbench or whatever it is. Okay,
so from your side that you've sort of come down on, let me just give you a little bit more room layout. So where you've come down the opposite side of his engraved circle, and you can see behind two sort of jutting outcrops of rock that had been in the way of it before you got behind. You can see that there are two sturdy chests on each side of the room, basically in each corner, that had been hidden by those jutting outcrops of rock. You can also see two doors in the wall that you're currently sort of walking down as you get behind him, and they have been barred up with some makeshift sort of iron rods shoved in to try and keep that door closed, whatever it is. As you climb down, of course, though, you are able to get much closer. You are now 10 feet away, because he's sort of right up against... He's not right up against the wall, but he's pretty close to that wall that you've just climbed down. You're 10 feet away. He's still staring at that door.
Okay.
He's very interested in that door.
Very interested indeed. Can I see... Is he sort of holding anything on, like his belt or anything?
His hands are both clasped in front of him. There's nothing on his belt, so he's wearing these long black robes over himself, so you can't see a belt or anything inside. You'd have to get your arms right up there to see if he's wearing a belt. He may notice.
So he's not got like a desk or something in front of him, or workbench? Or
No desk or workbench here.
Meanwhile, Glarus.
To your left, there is an opening as well in a corridor, and through there you can see a little bit of torchlight.
I climb back onto the wall, walk around the room, and look down that corridor.
Okay, looking down that corridor, you see a stone wall. Unfortunately, it's a T-junction. It is well lit. Give me a perception check, please.
17.
You can smell cooking pork.
Can I tell which direction the smell's coming from?
Yeah, it's coming from the left, definitely. Very
Okay.
strong from the left. The right smells just of sewage again.
I sneak along to the left and take a look.
There is a big metal door blocking the way towards the smell of pork. When you touch the door, it is very hot to the touch. Not so hot that you burn yourself. It's not like you're about to walk into a blazing inferno. It's warm. It's very warm. But the door is not budging.
Can I use the mirror from my feast kit to sort of see if I can look through a gap or something?
Yeah, there's probably enough space under the door for you to stick a mirror under. I think that would be fine, and just have a look through. So looking under there, you see a hulking behemoth of flesh, stitched together from various parts. Roll me an Arcana check, please. And meanwhile, in the room, you also see there is a massive furnace, there are a load of fire pits, and there are bits of humanoids roasting.
That's a 5.
And that would be the smell you got. You're not sure, but whatever this thing is, it looks huge and it looks very scary. It is 90% stitches and it's like someone has made a blanket out of human skin and put it over a shape that should not have fit human skin.
Okay.
It appears to be tending to the furnaces.
Is the door I'm stood in front of locked in any way?
It is not budging.
Well, I'm not trying to open it.
You can definitely try and lockpick it if you would like.
Well, I was thinking more of making sure it doesn't open for now.
Okay, the best way to do that is probably to get away from the door, and you should be all right.
Okay, I move in the other direction, see what's down the other corridor.
In the other direction is a statue of a frog. It is looking diagonally across the corridor. It has 2 purple stone gems in its eyes, which are swiveling around. It hasn't seen you, of course, because you're invisible.
Would I end invisibility if I tried to pry them out?
Yes.
Okay, in that case, I just keep going down the corridor.
There is a door at the other end, and inside you can hear gentle sobbing.
I take a closer look at the door.
Okay, the door it's made of quite sort of flimsy wood, kind of thing that would probably splinter quite quickly if someone slammed it too hard, that sort of thing. Not punching it, as in, just slamming the door like that. It'd probably splinter quite hard. It looks like the water that's in the air has gotten to it over time. But otherwise, it's reasonably clean.
Can I see through the door in any way, or if I try and look under?
No, this one, unfortunately, is straight down to the ground, so you can't get a mirror through.
Can I try and nudge it open?
You can. Are you going to try and do that quietly? If so, roll me a stealth check.
Do I get advantage because I'm invisible?
No.
Oh.
We're not trying to determine if you can't be seen opening the door. We're trying to determine if you can't be heard.
That's the 19.
Okay.
No, wait, 21.
21. It opens quietly, but you feel a resistance against it about 2 inches in, and you stop because you know it's about to creak. That's what your stealth check has gotten you. It's your knowledge that it is about to make the loudest possible noise. However, that 2 inches is enough of a gap to get your mirror through if you need to see through.
I carefully put my mirror through so as not to make it too visible if someone else is not looking at the door.
Okay, so what you see is a makeshift bed and also an altar of stone upon which a small humanoid shape wrapped in linen cloths and surrounded by spluttering candles rests. Knelt down next to it, in black robes, is the figure you saw earlier. He is crying and resting one hand on the linen cloth. On the far side of this altar is a desk which is strewn with thousands of books all over the place. Towards the other side of the room, you can't see too much, but you can see two very big pillars and what looks like a bridge over some sort of chasm. Not a natural chasm, so probably like a part of a storm drain or something that is there. This is very clearly not a built room. This is something that someone's just come in and made a space to work in as best they can.
Same figure as that was touching the door?
Appears to be the same figure.
Can I go back to the large room with all the undead in it and take another look at the figure there just to see if it's an illusion or something?
How would you like to do that? I mean, you can go back to the room. You're fine. You're in the room. What sort of mechanism would you like to use to determine whether the thing in front of you is an illusion or a twin?
Okay, I've always been able to cast minor illusion. Can I just sort of look for sort of like a flickering or something I'd be familiar with?
Roll me an Arcana check.
Okay, that's the third time I've rolled a 20 today, and I'm beginning to think this dice likes me.
So the thing about minor illusion that you know is that it's two-dimensional, and this is not two-dimensional.
Is minor illusion?
Yes. Minor illusion is a projected 2D image. It's actually not very good, minor illusion, but a lot of people think it is a lot better than it is.
Okay.
Also, doesn't give off smells, minor illusion.
Oh yeah, this one smells cinnamon.
You know what? I just pick up a stick or something and slowly try and insert it into the figure from behind to see what happens. Can I change my water thing?
All right, you poke it with a stick, basically, and the stick goes through it. It doesn't react. It's still staring at the door. You do remember that there are actually probably better spells than minor illusion. It may well be a major illusion, which is probably a good deal better, and that it's actually called major image. But you're probably facing one of those.
I remember earlier it reacted, so either he was actually here himself or the illusion just made it appear he was. So I assume he must have some way of telling when people are approaching.
Well, last time he also sent an army after you, so he might have already known at that point.
Guess you didn't notice the crystal right now. Ah, the frog. Okay, I take a closer look at the chest on the left.
It is an iron-bound chest, so it's got these iron straps over it. Looks pretty sturdy. Do you want to try and open it, or are you going to take the thing wholesale and run, or...?
Is it locked?
It does appear to be locked, yes.
And presumably trying to pick it will break invisibility? Or would it?
Usually, no. Invisibility is if you cast spells or attack is when it drops. And I would consider wrenching the eyes out of a statue as an attack. But I don't think lockpicking would count. You're going to try and pick the lock. Roll me a tools proficiency check, please. So dexterity with your thieves tools proficiency.
Okay, that's 3 plus 3. That is 18.
18. It does not open.
Oh. Can I try the other one?
Yeah, you can absolutely try the other one. Yeah.
That's 15.
Doesn't open, I'm afraid.
Damn it.
Meanwhile, Glarus is just showing Eao how to turn his clay into more. Look at this work.
How much rope do I have on me? How many corpses are there waiting around?
Around you there are 20.
Okay. I sneak back to where everyone else is.
Yep, you're back. You're all fine. Presumably you've relayed all the information you found.
Okay, so I was thinking, if we all have enough rope between us, maybe I could just go back and tie down all the corpses.
Potentially.
Yeah. I mean, I have like 50 foot of rope here. Sorry, go on.
I got 50 feet I can throw. But if we spend the time to go get more rope, who knows how this place may change in that time. We know where the guy is currently, or seemingly to.
Yeah, I'll just... Okay.
How much rope did I spend on my barrel?
20 feet, I think.
So I have 30 feet.
Okay, how much rope would we need to tie and bound a corpse?
Per corpse, you probably need about 10 feet of rope.
Okay.
I don't have that much.
We have 130 feet we can work with.
Yeah.
That is still only 7 undead.
Okay, so I go... can start tying them up as a start.
Yeah, you can start tying them up if you'd like.
Okay, so I sneak back. Can I tell anything about what corpse might be what?
Arcana or nature? Roll me, and we're going to go Arcana on that one, I think. Because these have been created by magic, typically. Yeah, she'd still be invisible until she starts tying them. I'm going to say that is definitely an attack.
Oh, would it be?
Yeah, like a grapple, basically.
Fair enough.
That's a 10.
10, okay. These are all corpses. You're unfortunately not sure which, if any, are undead or not.
Is there anything else around them? Like maybe tools or signs that they've been enchanted in some way?
Not over here, no.
While crowded thinks, can I ask what direction the kitchen was in? Was it in behind the broken wall or somewhere else?
So the
Broken wall,
direction,
but I mean,
the kitchen from where you lot are, is west by southwest. The broken wall is to your west, so it is possible that will go that way. Obviously, you can't see past it to know for sure, but it is possible.
Well, I don't have any better plans, so I just start tying up the corpses.
Okay, your invisibility drops the moment you do that. But you don't have a huge problem tying up the corpses. They seem inert. And after about half an hour or so, you're able to tie up 13 of them.
Okay. Has the illusion reacted to me in any way?
No.
Okay. I go back and gesture everyone to come back and come back with me.
When
I
we follow.
would like to dismember the bodies that are not tied up.
Grim, but okay.
I wonder what your patron thinks of that.
It's a good question.
What?
Ecstatic. Patrons fucking loving it. They're not devils, but
Literally, the Claves' blade turns into a bone saw.
what you can hear at the moment is the Doom soundtrack, and it's just rip and tear, just on repeat.
While he's doing that, I'm going to put my attempt at the chest.
Oh yeah, sure. If you want to roll me two Thieves' Tools, Dexterity Thieves' Tools checks.
22 and 24.
They both open for you. Let me just get you the
Sounds like
content.
DC was 20.
It was. And you feel a magical energy dissipate from the chests as they pop open. Eao, you are familiar enough with this sort of thing from your previous career and current career as a thief that you've seen an arcane lock before, and that was definitely a fortified lock from the arcane lock spell. That's why it was so hard to break open, but no match for you. Okay, so the north chest, or on the north end of the room, contains embalming tools, a pouch of salt, 28 copper pieces, 2 bottles of distilled spirits, a small silk pouch containing 300 gold pieces of small diamonds, and a blue velvet pouch full of dirt.
Sorry, before you continue, you think
yeah.
anything in particular I could tell about the dirt? Or is it just dirt?
Just looks like dirt.
Yeah.
The south chest contains a gilded skull worth 300 gold pieces, 20 sticks of incense, a pouch of bone dust, and 3 vials of blood.
Alright, so immediately I'm going to take the diamonds and the salt.
Glarus, are you watching this at any point?
If he's behind a wall from me,
The
or
chests are behind a sort of... They're in a little alcove to either side of the room, so you wouldn't... If you're in the main part of the room, you wouldn't be able to see it.
yeah, I'd still probably be
Ripping and tearing.
enjoying the Doom soundtrack right now.
Okay, then that's fine. That's fine. Just checking.
I'm also going to give Grounded, any sort of dibs on wherever she wants before I take more.
Okay.
Okay. Do I notice anything unusual about the contents of the chest, apart from what you just told Eao?
What sort of unusual are you looking for?
Maybe something to do, something magical or something to do with the undead, I'd notice.
Okay, roll me Arcana, please.
I know what I'm going to be taking as my next proficiency. That's a 7.
Okay. It looks like magic stuff, but you're not sure what. No idea what spells these would be for, but sure, it sounds like these might be spell components.
Is the distilled spirit just alcohol?
Yes. Yeah, not ghosts. But yeah, it's essentially ethanol in there.
Okay. Yeah, keep those. Never know when an alchemist might need those.
Well, that's true.
And I pick the pouch full of dirt, because you never know.
Okay.
She's got a bunch
And
of
sort of-
dirt. She's got a bunch of dirt.
Lisann puts a hand out, actually, says, hang on a minute. Hang on. No! I studied this. I can tell you. Hang on. The dirt. The copper pieces. Oh, hang on. Do I know this? And I'm going to roll a d20 to determine if she does know this.
Can I assist?
Nope, you've already tried. She does. This is restful repose.
I'm sorry, this is what?
Restful, gentle repose. The dirt, it has to be graveyard dirt. And the copper pieces, you put them on the eyes, and then a corpse can't come back as undead.
Can't.
Well, not for as long as the spell effects. I can't remember how long that is. I think it's like a few days, a week. It never really worked when I did it.
It was turning corpses into undead when you were around.
No, I mean, the spell never took. They could tell with detect magic. It's a cleric spell. We get taught it. It's also a necromancy spell.
Seems like a pretty useful spell.
Oh, sure. Yeah, really useful. If you have a lot of necromancers around. Or liches. I've never seen a lich, though. Or a well, I guess I have seen a necromancer.
I mean, at least the illusion of
Wait, but why does this guy have a spell to stop undead being made? He's got sort of a theme here.
Does anyone else just hear this music?
Can I sense the music?
I'm pretty sure it's just from a patron.
Yeah, it's just in your head, just the Doom soundtrack going. I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm not a necromancer.
Unless Ground is going to take anything else, I'm just going to scoop up the rest of things.
I'm just going to light the incense for the hell of it.
Okay, it starts to smell slightly better in the room. I mean, where you are, it mostly smells of cinnamon because of the major image. But, you know, the rest of the room still stinks. There's a lot of open sewage, and of course, Glarus is knee-deep in it at the moment. Knee-deep in that and the dead.
Deep in gore.
Knee-deep in the dead as well. So... One thing actually you can see where you are is you can see where the liquid is going, the effluents. So on the north side of it, when you were ripping and tearing up there, you could see that the effluents heads through the north wall in a grating, which you know from Grounder's description, that's roughly in the direction of where that sobbing figure was. So it seems to head that way. When you're in the south wall, it actually heads to the west. When you're on the south side of it, in the ripping and tearing over there, it heads to the west, possibly through to the room that has been barred off. As you can see, these two doors with these sort of iron poles sort of holding it in place.
Okay.
Since I have a magic weapon, I would like to just make sure that the other 13 bodies don't have a hit.
Sure.
By just
chop, chop,
Guillotine
chop,
them.
chop,
Yeah.
chop. Okay. Yeah.
Not taking the time to saw there.
You've got plenty of time to do that.
And quiet.
None of them react when you do that, and you have decapitated a lot of civilians. Yes.
I will place the heads back to pretend that they're still attached.
Okay.
Like I'll make it look like they're like nothing's
Roll me
changed.
sleight of hand, please.
That's an 11.
Well, kind of looks like corpses still. If someone's not looking too closely, it's probably fine.
If they start walking, they probably will feel it. I mean, they probably notice they're missing something.
What's the plan? You've probably all had enough time now to accomplish what you wanted to accomplish there.
The grate on the north side of the wall, is that something I could take out of the wall?
You can give it a go. It's not on a hinge, but it does look a bit rusty, so it might be quite easy to snap off.
Can I take my crowbar?
To make sure that a little bit less, like there's no evidence on the crime scene.
Okay.
Just leaving things as I found them.
Okay, can I have a strength check from anyone trying to pop the grate?
Okay. Do I get advantage with the crowbar?
Yes.
You have advantage. That's a 12.
It ain't budging, I'm afraid.
For me, that's a 17 minus 1, so 16.
Okay, that pops it open, yeah. You sort of go, hang on, give that here, and you just like, poof, and it pops off, falls into the water. So the water goes really deep into that pipe. So the pipe's about half your height, you're going to have to crawl through it. Which would be the second time I've had members of the Guild of Icons crawling through a shit pipe. I don't know why. You didn't do it the last time, but it was one of the ways out of the prison. I had to Shawshank Redemption you. Yeah.
Look, you keep doing this till we actually crawl down one, aren't you?
Yeah, but well, you don't have to. You know there are other ways through, but it is an option to crawl through there.
In fairness, you also had us fight the giant poo.
I have had you fight a giant poo, yeah. The black pudding, yeah.
So, if we're being stealthy, who wants to go first?
I look at my armor, I look at... how deep is that?
I vote not ladies first.
It's about half your height in size. It's a circular pipe. And you would fit through. It would be tight, but you would fit through. You wouldn't... It doesn't look like you'd get stuck, but it is full as well. Like, it's completely under the liquid line, and yeah, you are going to be entirely submerged.
How deep is it?
How deep is it? It's about probably 4 feet.
Lengthwise, or...?
Oh, lengthwise, it curves as it goes in. You can't see too far because this is not clear water that you're looking through.
So, Glarus, are you going to be the gentleman and move forward?
This is never coming out of that mane. Good news,
Prestidigitation
it's about to be green mane again.
The prestidigitation does work wonders.
That's
Literal
true.
wonder.
It is literal magic, and you might need it by the end of this.
Very well.
Okay.
Is there any room to breathe?
No.
Do I have to hold my breath?
You will have to hold your breath.
Joy.
Okay.
Well, here goes nothing.
So you start scrabbling through the pipe with your eyes closed, your mouth as firmly clamped closed as you can, because you don't want to be opening that under there. And so you're just sort of reaching around to try and find the edges of the pipe and sort of follow it through and move through. Roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Natural 1, baby. So that's gonna be a 3. I've got my nostrils full of shit.
Yes, you do. Your Constitution is lowered by 2. So lower your Constitution score by 2, please. And you you immediately start breaking out in fevers. You've seen this before once.
Yeah. My good friend.
Your good friend Ruzad has had the shit rot before.
Okay, so that's 5 hit points to lose from that as well, right?
Yes. Your hit point maximum is reduced, and yes, you lose 2 on your Constitution. Come back eventually after some healing. But yeah, you're able to make it through the pipe. It takes about a minute, but you can hold your breath about, I think, 2 minutes. Actually, with your lowered Constitution, it's much less, but you'll be fine getting through there. And you emerge in this trough, and as you sort of you raise your head above the water level. The first thing you notice is that the water is now 50% blood and 50% effluence. You are
it's in... It's not my blood, is it?
It's not your blood, no. You are in what looks like some form of storm drain. Above you, you can see a wooden bridge, a rickety wooden bridge going across it. You can see 4 pillars surrounding it, and there are torches in the pillars. You can't see anything else because the height of the walls is above your eye line, so you can't see over it and see what's into the room. So what's everyone else doing at the moment? You following along?
I will, but a bag of holding has 10 minutes worth of air in it for a medium creature. So since I'm not going to be able to see where I'm going anyway through that sludge, I'm going to put my head inside the hat of holding all the way, so I have air as I move through.
Okay, roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Yeah. That is a total of 15.
Okay, you're fine. After a bit of scrabbling, and you are gonna desperately need to get Glarus to cast Prestidigitation on you as soon as you can, you make it out the other side. And you see exactly what Glarus saw. You see the storm drain, you see the pillars, the flickering torches, and you see the huge amount of blood that is in here. You can also see that the blood is dripping from the northeastern side of this storm drain. So it's sort of sloped walls, very, very vertical still, but sort of slightly sloped, and it's dripping down from that side.
You can also see Glarus pushing things out of his nose and prestidigitating at the same time.
I don't have that issue, so...
And Grounded, what about you?
Maybe we should just talk to that guy.
Half of us are already through.
Okay,
you could always do
with my medical training, do I know any way to avoid getting infected?
Roll me a medical check. Yeah, roll me a medicine check.
That's 3.
No. You have heard once that it might be possible to prevent yourself from getting it if you are upside down when you're going through it.
Okay, I head inside, upside down, and make my way through.
Okay, it doesn't work. I will need a Constitution saving throw. It's possible that it was in one of those pamphlets that Ruzad has.
I'm pretty sure whoever told her that was also telling her about leeches.
Yeah.
Yeah, sadly no leeches can survive in here. That's a 9.
That's a 9. So your Constitution score has dropped by 2 as well. So that's going to lower your health. Well, it's going to lower your health by 5. It's going to be the same as how much it lowered Glarus's. But also, it will reduce your modifier as well, should you need to make any Constitution saving throws in the future. You also, your stomach is burning. Both yours and Glarus's, your stomachs are burning. Feels extremely uncomfortable. You may struggle to concentrate on spells.
This is not some concentration checks as well.
Yeah.
Maybe we could take a short rest and I could try and make does alchemy let you make anything that cures disease? I don't think it does.
Where are you planning on doing that? In the storm drain surrounded by sewage and blood?
Well, I've got 100 GP worth of raw ingredients.
That's true, but it's not...
I think it's...
Let me put it this way, it's not the most sanitized environment for...
Just kidding, everyone's blood and everything else.
You also know, Grounded, you are currently in the lair of the necromancer. This is not the place to be lighting a Bunsen burner and spending an hour sitting there and hoping that he doesn't just turn around.
Good point.
Because you've seen the bridge from the other side. Yeah.
Okay, onward then.
Okay. Well, You have the...
Where did we leave Lisann?
Lisann is still in the main chamber, and she is not going in there.
Okay.
She's wearing
She'll
white.
meet us on the other... I'm guessing she'll go around and meet us on the other side.
Yeah, just right through the necromancer.
That's a good point. Hold on a sec.
Pincer movement.
Okay, so what you can hear right now sounds a little bit like this. So it's quiet when you pop up, and you can hear the man sobbing still. And all three of you pop up, and everything's fine. And then I think about 10 seconds or so pass, and then you hear this noise. Whoop, 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 whoop. And the necromancer bolts upright. You can't really see that. You can see the shadow of him bolting upright. You hear the sound of the door opening, and he shouts, "What the hell are you doing here? Didn't I tell you to go?" And you can hear a very chirpy and excitable, "Uh-oh,